lovely people, those who are interested in truth, accountability, transparency, and those who believe in the mission, the calling, and the commission on Mazen Namdekano. I want to welcome you all here today. It is Biafra Global Network on a weekend that Chukwokike has kept us all alive so that we can marry, celebrate, and be happy and then celebrate what he's doing for us. I want to welcome you all and say God bless you all. And today is the 7th day, Saturday, the last day of the first week of October. The last day of the first week of October, and at the same time, the date is 7th October 2023. And the weekend is been, I don't know how the weather situation is in your area, but I know that it is quite uh, it is quite hot. And in this area where I am, some of you might have been experiencing rain or something, weather, because in spite of whatever you feel and how you feel, you always make your time to be here. And so at this time, we shall be going straight to the broadcast. Before I commence, I want to I want to bring to your notice that we shall be taking calls today. And of course, my name is Kelechi Ambrose. I don't need to keep saying it always, but it's good at least rituals of any program, you begin with saying your name. So the number on the screen would be used for today's calls. It's, every Saturday to have Thank you for joining. Sorry, I had some network madness. And I'm back. Let me set everything again. Let me set everything so that we can come fully and go on with what we have to do today. Um, I want to welcome you guys to this broadcast today, and hopefully, so we're going to have a good time and good, you know, navigate this whole thing today very well. And please just bear with me. In 1 minute, I'll be through with what I'm doing. Trying to fix some stuff over here, and which I should have been able to, but because of the network issue, I have not concluded it. So just bear with me on that. I am really, really delighted to have you here. And as always, I want to thank every one of you who are always making out time to join in what we are doing and to make sure that we deal with the issues that concerns our freedom, and at the same time talk about things that concerns truth and how much taught, and at the same time Chukwokige has given to him to give to us. And so many things have been going on. Of course, you guys know most of the things happening. And of course, aside the things that are going on, we still have things that will still happen. And for today, we are going to be having today. Of course, the program is the Nugget Conference, of which it has to do with both sides. You are talking to me, I'm talking to you at the same time. So for those who want to join in and who would like to call, you are free to call. Amaka, good to have you. Sorry, Amaka, good to have you. Keep it up. Thank you so much. I bless God for you. Always here. Network problems. Yes, there's a problem, but I hope it has been rectified. I'm not even seeing who is online and who is not online, anyways. But I know that the network is trying to behave somehow funny. But today we're going to be looking critically on the issues we began last night, and today we shall massively be attending to some of these things. I know that those who stand on the path of truth don't have problems with this broadcast. It is always those who are on the path of lies that will always have problems with the truth. Those who are on the path of truth should continually be on the path of truth, because that is the only thing that can redeem us. And more of you who are on the path of lies should be converted and come to the truth, because that is the only way we can be redeemed. Today we hear the news of the attack on Israel by terrorists, Hamas group, in Gaza also. And we don't know where the world is going. Things are happening. Russia is carrying out drills, nuclear drills. These other people, the West also. There's what Russia says, according to Russian security secret service, or all of that. They said they know that NATO is planning nuclear strike on Russia territory, and all of these things are happening everywhere. And at the same time, we, the Biafrans, are only seeking for our freedom. Now, the same thing that happened in the times in 1967 and all of that. Remember, about 50 years ago, Egypt and Syria attacked Israel suddenly, surprisingly. It was a massive attack of about 16 days war that Israel was actually defeated in that particular war after the 1947 6 days war that Israel defeated the Arab nations. 1973, Israel was attacked, and precisely 50 years after that, today, Hamas and Israel is retaliating, and it's going to be massive. So we keep praying that Chukwokike will preserve his people, and at the same time, good to see you here as always. Thank you to you, and of course, the people standing on the path deal with the e-frogs when they come on. We have our people here back up, people who are strongly making the accountability and transparency group welcome you. Today is weekend, and this 7th day of October 2000. Today is actually the last, and this is 24 p.m. 4 p.m. Yes, Biafra time. You can relate over there and then know I'm behind or ahead of Biafra land. Today I'm going to be speaking intensively. I'm going to be talking about, this is the part 2 of the Autopilot Miasma, the secret evils and activities going on, and all of the circumstances that we have found ourselves based on the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been kidnapped and extraordinarily renditioned. And we all, for the past 2 years, we know where he is in the confines of the DSS, but yet majority of the people who claim to be wanting to have the front to move for Biafra are busy stealing the resources of the people, manipulating the people, collecting their monies and all of that. And because we are watchers, we know that all of these things will bring glory to Chukwu Okike. So we are not bothered. We are not afraid. We keep saying the truth. We are not the ones to implement the truth. We are the ones to execute the truth, and Chukwu Okike will implement. Of course, when you talk about executing and implementing, it's like it sounds the same. But of course, when we're executing, Chukwu Okike is helping us to make the truth have a fruit in your heart. That's what I mean by implementation. He makes it have a fruit. So all we do is come always at all times. We have the opportunity and we speak the truth, and the truth makes you free, a process of freedom. Now, yesterday, I was actually playing a vital message from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That message is critical to what we shall continue with today. Today, I'm going to be going on that route again. I'm going to play it, allow it to flow to the point where I stopped yesterday, and then we shall take it up from there, and I'll have some little discussions on that, and then we shall now go to the voice messages I want to play today. For those of you who didn't really get the message of the voice messages, because it is out of the abundant mouth speaks. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I remember one time, I think that was in the month of August, there was a meeting and called by some of my comrades, 2 of my comrades anyways, they are here right now, and then they called that meeting with somebody who claims to be a broadcaster out there and who claims to be standing on the path of truth. And I was brought in. He was insisting I shouldn't be brought into that meeting. And when I was brought into the meeting, he began to talk about how he has been in this movement for a very long time and how he has been standing on the path of truth and how he has been doing things truthfully and all of that. And after he said all of that, the next things he started doing in that particular meeting was to romance evil, to romance. I remember one time when he met me to connect him to Simon, and that time, when you see desperate people and when they talk, I said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. First, they will give you an impression that they are very sincere, and then when they begin to open up what is inside of them, you know that these ones are liars and criminals. And he began to say so many things, and then suddenly he now began to make an argument defending the criminality in Simon. Even when we asked, he wanted to blackmail us and project Simon, because of course, you know what they do is this: they always want to continue doing what they're doing, just like the one they call one lady like that, who always comes to attack Evangelist Barbara and other people and all of that. All she does is, she was the one who had been saying that Simon must do the right thing and all of that. And suddenly Simon calls him on phone, Asuka calls her on phone. Simon calls her on phone, Asuka calls her too. And then suddenly she starts working with them. Every one of them are looking for opportunity to have viewership and have opportunity to steal. That's what they're looking for. And so this guy was just defending the indefensible. And when I asked him a critical question, he ran away from that meeting. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. From what people stand for, you will know when they are consistent. Because when they speak today, tomorrow you will see that when you hear their words, you will know that they are not sincere. And today we want to establish the facts of truth. And I know that this message goes far and wide, because I've seen so many platforms where these messages are actually shared. And of course, some of them sometimes is downloaded and forwarded. But we must reach every part of the world with the message of truth. And that is why you have to like this video, share it on all your social media platforms. As soon as you join in, you like, you share, and you send. Of course, sharing is sending also. For those who are downloading, you send. You download and send to people, and share also is still the same thing as sharing. So we want to propagate the gospel of truth. Today is going to be very, 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 very deep. We're going to go deeper so that you can have an understanding. And I'm going to use the voice message, the ones I used 2 or 3 days ago, to elaborate on opening up this criminality in line with what is on ground right now. I'll use this voice message that we played the other time, of which Kennedy was asking questions about the account. And I'm going to use that voice message again today, because every week we select, what we're going to be doing is we select some particular voice messages, and we utilize it for that week. If we see that we have not exhausted it for that week, we use it again for the next week. Because what we want to achieve is to get you to understand the nitty-gritties, the details, and every aspect of the messages, and give you much of explanations that will help you elaborate on your mind the buried or the encapsulated meaning or deep-seated information reserved in those messages. Because sometimes when people talk, some of us don't know words of the people. They search and probe into their minds and know the kinds of people they are. But I know some of my comrades are very good at that. I remember, I was telling me something, and when, she listened to a particular man in our midst, some of those elders, go and open another platform, try to reply to rebellious people who just move away, sack themselves, because they are supposed to be suspended, they decided to run away, and when they run away, try to use the name the Accountability and Transparency Group to open there, and to cause some confusion, and she was saying, this person is like this, and look at what from this, you will know that this, and sometimes even Amaka here too. Sometimes she will say, this person is this person is that. And we say, no, don't worry, it's not like that. And before you know it, because of things people have said, you got to know what they are capable of. You know what they are capable of. Something. When you see a wicked person, when you feel or hear a wicked person, you would always feel and hear and understand the wickedness in them. In fact, anybody who always seeks for means of blackmailing you because you don't agree with them, just know that that person is totally evil. Stay away from them. Anybody who wants to blackmail you because you don't, it's just like now, for instance, let's say let's say one of these people who have left the Accountability and Transparency Group, who cannot stand the truth that we hold, the truth we believe in. And then maybe one of them, let's go, the network. I hope it will be normal today. Let's say they just one of them tells me about their life or something critical about themselves, something secret themselves. When now have some kind of deliberations and we refuse and we cannot agree, and all I want to do now is to use those things they told me in confidence to blackmail them in the open. I am deadly. I am wicked. I am, in fact, there should be a stone tied to my back and I am thrown into the sea, because that is the same thing that Judas did to Christ. You don't know? The secret identify Christ. Christ looked like every one of them looked the same, the 12 apostles and Christ, because they dressed the same, they grew their hair the same, they were just the same. So the people were not really sure. When they see Jesus, they get confused. Which of them? Because he came to their level, they were on the same level. They couldn't understand. So they needed somebody like Judas to kiss him to prove that this is the Christ. Because he told them the person I kiss is the one. Because they cannot really recognize, because it's just like they look alike. He looked like the disciples. They were just the same. And so what happened? The secret, Judas exposed the secret. When people want to blackmail you using the things that you have discussed with them in private, or their private life matters that are critical to them, against you in public. You know, I remember disagreeing on the Accountability and Transparency group, and one who have left us now, who always want to showcase herself on social media everywhere. She wants to let everybody know she's everywhere. She's doing good. She's too good. She's helping the men on ground and all of that. She just came, and then she said something. She now was saying that they have the right to their opinions, and I was saying that you don't bring up any opinion and think you have a right. You can't come to tell people who are running on a particular name and tell them to change their name because of people who left. They should give their name to the people who left. That means that's treason. If you don't know what it is, if you talk about rights, it doesn't mean that you come to maybe you are United States of America, you come and tell the president, we have to change the name. Or let's say you tell the president, Russia is fighting us, so let's give Russia the name United States of America. They will kill you, because that suggestion is tantamount to treason. There's some suggestions you give that are not supposed to be. You don't say because you said that everybody can bring up suggestions. You begin to bring suggestions that will destroy the reputation of your organization. You don't do that. And when I was insisting, the woman was saying, yes, the guy have a right to he is giving a suggestion. He has a right, even if we have to give up the name, because she knows she has some secrets that those people have about her. So she wants to always stay at the center. And of course, those ones are very untamed, they're uncultured. Once you disagree with them, they bring out your private matters in public, just like we have seen recently, flying everywhere. People will bring out people's private matters to public because they disagreed with them. So she was insisting that we have to give them the name, and we stood our ground. And suddenly, she decided that she was going to go the route of blackmail. She went to meet the Polish lady that I brought into the group and started interrogating her. Has Kelechi toasted you before? Has Kelechi done this before? Why this one you are standing? You are just why are you insisting that Kelechi should not impose his will when I'm not imposing my will? When I give my suggestions, they all turn it. They said I shouldn't be talking during meetings, that I should just keep quiet, because one of them was seeking to be what do you call it? A spokesperson, and I said no. So from there they were saying I shouldn't be talking during meetings. That I'm the secretary, so I should just take records. Who told you that secretaries don't talk during meetings? Who told you that? Because they wanted to silence me. And when they brought those ideas, I said, no, it seems wrong. She now began to want to blackmail me. So well, I'm talking to this, I'm talking to that. I don't understand. Well, let me not go that way anyways. But what I want to point out here is that when you go, it is for the fact that you belong to an organization, and they said, as I said initially, and it is said that everybody's idea is important. There are some ideas you bring up. Those ideas are tantamount to treason. As I gave the instance, you can't tell Russia to change their name because you go to tell Russia that since that Wagner mercenary that came that time was marching towards Moscow, that's when he was marching towards Moscow to go to meet Putin and protest, and then you tell the Russians and say, since Wagner has come, they want to fight us. Let's just give them the name. Let them become Russians. Let's change our name, another name, and bear, so that they don't fight us, so that they don't go to public and start embarrassing us. That is treason. If you give that suggestion, it simply means you are working with the enemies. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. So today we shall be looking at the issue of betrayal and manipulation. Just like I said yesterday, somebody said, oh, Azuka has not said anything since the issue she had with Simon. After they sacked her, she didn't say anything. What a mature woman. You are daft, you are empty, you are brainless. You know why? Because when it comes to critical things as allegations, as of that magnitude of crime, financial crimes and all of that, when there are blackmails against you, what you do naturally, you write out, especially if you have a position in that organization, that so-called place, or that cabal where they are, and they seem to have some followers. What they need to do, what she needs to do, is to come out with a report. If she cannot come to speak well, because of course you know that she only talks about one thing every time she's talking. Her statement just goes one way, you know. So if she needed somebody to put things together for her, to explain and exonerate herself of the criminality, what she should have done is that. And the person said, she has not. No, she's not humble. It's not because she's mature. It's because when they begin to come out, they are going to fight dirty, and they're going to reveal so many things to you. There are secrets about the finances that Azuka and Simon would want to preserve. No matter their difference, they want to preserve. That is why you have seen that they don't want to actually really come all out to get this thing, and they are struggling hard to make sure that it doesn't escalate. Because when it escalates, so many things will pour out there. But the truth here is they cannot hold this for a long time. They can't hold it forever, because you will expose yourselves. You've already exposed yourself by your actions. But the truth here is, truly, you will come more to expose yourselves. From the things you have exposed, we give the analysis to Biafrans. And that is what this program is about. The part 2 here, we continue in that regard, in that notion, in that idea, in that context. We continue from there. So now I'm going to play the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm going to play it straight now to where we stopped yesterday. And please take your time. Yes, she told the zombies to obediently follow. You know, they know how to. She's struggling. You know, she's somebody who is very arrogant. And of course, she's arrogant. Simon is arrogant. Asuka arrogant. Simon arrogant. And proud. That's mawkishly proud. Mawkish. The word mawkish here is M-A-W-K-I-S-H, not mock, M-O-C-K-E-D. No, mawkish. Go and check that word. M-A-W-K-I-S-H. Mawkishly proud, arrogant. When you add mawkish to the word pride, you can imagine the level, the gravity of the whole thing. And because of this, you can see the expression various times, the way someone deals with people, the way he responds to people, the way he deals with elders, the way he does his things, and all of that. And then you can also observe it in the way Azuka shouted at him, the way Azuka treats the other people, the way she treated some of the women, the way all they do, and the way the last time she came, and the other time she told them that if you are not, and nobody, you have the right to ask her, you know, and the other time, of course, she said, no, this meeting ends here. We're going to play all of that. This meeting ends here. We begin with another session of the meeting. That this discussion ends here. We begin another discussion. The discussion I want is what you are going to discuss. It is not what you want we discuss. You discuss what I want. Arrogance and pride. And you know, when two people like that, with the other person's husband, you know, Azuka's husband being also mawkish and stupid, and then of course having this arrogance and pride in them, that is why the two of them will come and begin to press their breast on social media, because they want to mock you. They believe you are under their spell, so you just come out and you know, and then their pattern is always arrogance. Yes, of course, that's it. And so they want to mock, and so all of this will prove the fact that definitely they must crash. And with the concept of their lies and criminality, the spirit of Biafra would turn them against one another, and they must crash. They must expose themselves with time. So how much, as long as we keep waiting, and as much as we keep waiting, we keep exposing these facts to you so that you can understand all of this stuff. Now, if you want to call in, the number is here on screen. You know, every Saturday like that, we open it up for everybody to be part of this, you know, and all of that, to be part of making the course and all of that. And of course, we are going to deal with everything, every question you have, every observation you have, and everything you want to say. But I want to assure you, as I want to say every time, the door of the accountability and transparency group is open. Now that we're calling you, a time will come, you would have to go through many, because you have so many people that you would have to begin to seek for where to belong, because so many people will occupy so many positions, doing great things for Biafrans in their corner, and all of us deliberating at a particular center and giving the result to Biafrans. So this is the time now to come in and do what you have to do. And I want to assure you and tell you that all we need to do is to come to, let me tell you something. It is not about, hey, go and do your own, hey, you are doing, no. It is about us coming together we have to change our orientation. Us coming together, so that we can be able to work together for the purpose, to work together for the purpose of achieving the aim of our freedom. We know that I am seeing a particular message. There's something we call damage control. Whenever they are looking for ways to control the damage. That's why you see people like don't make that news. It is not a news to us. They will always come out for damage control, but in the end, they will destroy themselves. It happened during the time of Nelly, and they were trying to do damage control until Sima was doing his own damage control. Somehow he couldn't hold it, and the other one was doing all of it. And before you know it, they scatter, they explode. Before you know it, you begin to publish Nelly's on social media, and then that went viral. That's how it is. They can't hold it. They will break forth soon. That's what is going to happen. To break forth in that manner, and they will expose themselves because the monies they've stolen from Biafrans, the blood of the people who have died, was speaking against them, speaking against their minds. I'm not here to feel that. I'm not to make you feel like I have the solution. I'm here to make you feel that I have what it takes, and what you have and what I have, being under the auspices of nation, we can have a strong, formidable force to get our freedom. Remember, because if the same result keeps coming, frustrates and kills, because you will become, lean in your thinking, reasoning, and you will become so to the point of oppression, because you get depressed, and then you will now become oppressed and possessed and oppressed by demons, because when they take over you, you now cannot hold it anymore. Today, I want to assure you that everything that to do with lies will crumble in this Biafra project. They will crumble. Now we're going to begin. Let me begin with the message, because we have gone far. Time is already 33 minutes in the time, the time into the program. Now open it up, the voice message of Mazin Namdekanu. I'll play it right now, and then from there, I'll stop where we stopped yesterday, and then begin to analyze. We'll now go to the audios. Now, this is the Mazin Namdekanu. Now, I'm also going to play the audios, and those who want to call in, you are free to call in. You're free to call in and say what you want to say. And when you call in, just make your argument professionally. If you think that the criminals, whether Simon or his team members or Chinansa, all of those criminals are doing well, give your arguments professionally here and defend them, and give us the points that approves of your points. I mean, approves of your narrative and all of that, in which you are telling us and trying to make us believe. So that's how we want to go. Now listen to this.
Mission, unless they are equipped. For mortals to understand what we have come to do, they have to align their will with that of heaven.
Prepare your mind, because today's exposition is going to be wonderful and superb. There's so many things I'm going to say here today that will explode your mind to dimensional analysis. You on your own, when you get the information, you now process them on your mind realm, and then you get to know the fact here. Now listen to this.
That is why this very morning, as always, and in keeping with everything that we hold very dear, we come forth to proclaim the goodness of the Most High, to also ensure that Biafra is restored. That is a very simple mission. It's not complicated. Go and bring Biafra. They never said go and become a freedom fighter. They never said go and be conducting rally every year. It never said go and become popular or famous. They never said we should come to do what others have done. Okike said, "Pave the way. I have paved the way. I will command all the angels of heaven to make sure that IPOB is given enough protection to ensure that this my kingdom comes as it is here in heaven." That is our mission. That is our commission. That is our instruction, and we must execute it. We are truthful. We are honest, sincere. We don't prevaricate. We don't retreat. We don't surrender, as our enemies have just recently discovered.
Now, let me remind you what he means by no retreat, no surrender here. It is not about your so-called water. As I told you yesterday, it is about the truth. We don't retreat from the truth. We don't surrender. The next statements and all the things he's going to say right now will attest to that fact of no retreating, no surrender being the narrative of truth. Listen.
They can keep lying. I told the zoo, and I'm a Hulu. If you're a journalist and you're worth your salt, because I did not give them money, they don't want to write the truth. You will eventually speak the truth.
Truth.
We will force journalism in the zoo to change. To be truthful and bold, to speak the truth. The same way, by the time we finish, no idiot can open his or her mouth and say from there, because the name doesn't exist. We are winning on that one already. People are coming to their senses now. No more Niger Delta are telling us where they come from. That is better. By the time we finish with the vagabonds called journalists in the zoo, they will begin to report the truth. They will begin to hold office holders to account. They will become more incisive. They will become more.
Why did Mazen Mikano talk about holding office holders to account and linking it to truth? He said they will begin to speak the truth. They will begin to hold office holders to account. That means you would make sure that you watch them, you analyze what they do, you make them give you the reports, the details of their. Even God himself requires us to give account of our activities, even if God knows our activities. God himself will require our accounts, the account of our activities from us. Jesus was given a particular parable, and he said, when the man gave the talents, 5, 2, and 1, when he returned, he called for accounts. The biggest mistake any group of people will fall into or do, or the biggest kind of alarming mistake or biggest error that you can get involved in or allow yourself to be involved with is to allow things happen without accounts. When you have a system, a people, a nation, a group, a business, whether two-man business, personal business, more than two-man business, as long as there is an activity, there must be accounts. So when you fight account, it simply means you are fighting the truth. When you fight the idea, the narrative of account given or transparent approach to things, you are fighting. So you cannot say you are truthful and resisting the account part of it, because account is an evidence that truth is evident, because it is actually account that approves of truth in the narrative of general operations. Why would God ask of account from us? Why? Why would God say, you shall give account of your deeds? Why do we always talk about karma? Why do we always talk about they will receive what they do, they will get the repercussion? Why? Because there's an account that's and reveals that there must be a repercussion for such action that has happened. Even nature, even spiritual things determine and work with the law of accounts. How much less Biafrans fighting the narrative account. The narrative of account. So when you begin to see yourself resist people who are talking about account given, or you are resisting an account from people you are sentimentally connected to, or you are closing your eyes against the narrative of accounts or putting things in perspective, you are you are the number one evil in the land. 2, you are a betrayer. 3, you are evil and you are supposed to be sanctioned. In truth, you talk about giving accounts. Because what does account want to find out? Are you a loyal servant? That is what accounts want to find out. We all have our trust in you, but did you do it right? Did you betray our trust or not? That is what accounts does. When God says we are going to give account, he's saying that I gave you a free will to operate on earth, and I gave I gave you that free will and gave you the opportunity to express. But I want to now be sure, did you betray my trust? And some of you don't understand the calamity you are bringing upon yourself when you are resisting a spiritual law, the law of account. Why did God destroy the earth? And why did God destroy the earth under Noah? Why? And other times that God has caused Israel to go into exile. Why? Account of their deeds. Why did God tell Saul to kill every Amalekite? Should not spare one person. Why? Accounts of their deeds. When Israel was leaving Egypt, they fought against Israel. Why did God tell them to kill the Midianites? For causing them through Balaam to sin. Accounts of their deeds. If God himself is interested in an account, how much less you? And you want to fight a law that God himself uses and utilizes? You want to fight a law that God himself reverse, that means reveal, to reveal. He reveals it. That means he honors that law. The law that nature, that mystery has in its bosom. You want to fight it? You are going to be a product of the consequences of fighting that. And you know, when they talk about results of sacrifice, you know what it means, right? When they say you are a result sacrifice, that means, you know, when they give burnt offering for sacrifice, you know the result. You see how the thing will come born. That's how you go. That's how your life will be. You are fighting truth. Let's go on with this message.
More investigative, they will become more assertive. They will push for the truth.
Now let me play it again.
You finish. People are coming to their senses now. Listen. No more Nigeria data. People are that's where they come from. That is better. By the time we finish with the vagabonds called journalists in the zoo,
listen,
they will begin to report the truth.
Now listen.
They will begin to hold office holders to account. They will become more incisive. They will become more investigative.
Investigative spirit is part of transparent approach to what you do. It is not that you are hunting or you are interrogating them. You investigate the activities of people that are in office. When you commit a responsibility to somebody, you investigate if that thing that you make them preside over is important to you. You must investigate and watch out for accounts to make sure that they are doing the right thing, because what you gave to them is as valuable as gold to you. Our freedom, truth, and our freedom is as gold to us, more valuable than gold. That is why we cannot put it in the hands of anybody without requiring we can't be foolish or so foolish that we put our destinies, our freedom, our expectation in the hands of anybody account. Because every material needed to support that mandate we gave to them, that we put in their hand out on our behalf, every resource that is connected to that is as important as the mandate. And when you put trust in them, give them your support, when you give them your ideas, when you give them necessary for that, when you give them your mandate, you must investigate that they are carrying these things out as it is supposed to be. Because if you don't investigate, you are going to lose that thing as the freedom you seek. And what is that thing? That freedom is dear to you. So if freedom is more than gold to you, you don't give anybody your trust to get you freedom without investigating if they are true. In fact, once they tell, in spite of the fact that, yes, while I have been asking, and some people and Barbara have been asking, and basically this, at least Barbara, the woman out of all of them, because she was really the one who truly was standing for this. Others were, because their names were not the account, so they were just making noise. She was truly fighting it. And when I got the information that this thing is happening, I was talking to them. I was telling them they have to investigate it. I was telling them to investigate this matter under the UMADA. And I told them, I advised that they bring it to the Autopilot media team. And then when they bring it in there, we're going to raise it as a fact. And then we confront Simon with it. And this is what we did. And suddenly, when this thing was brought to the Autopilot platform, I saw hypocrisy. The people in that platform who were saying, hey, accounts, how can they be using money without account, giving accounts, blah, 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 blah. When we called Azuka, all of them were saying, Miasma, talking from both sides of the mouth. And I was just wondering. But when we now called for a real meeting, and we now made a decision that somebody like Sonny Aparawa will go and talk to the people who brought it, to that is Barbara, Maureen, Ify, and Judith, the one that the Juju one. When they brought the issue to us, because I was the one who advised, I don't know whether somebody else advised them too. I advised Maureen. I said, talk to them, talk to your group, bring this matter to the Autopilot media team. From there, I'm going to raise my voice, because you must bring it formally, present it formally. Because I was piecing to the point that even Azuka herself was asking Prince to ask me why I hate her. Why would I hate you, for God's sake? You are not doing the right thing. You want me to keep quiet. So you are judging hatred by me asking and investigating for you to give account of what people committed into your hands. They commit their destinies into their hands, and you think that I shouldn't ask questions, that if I ask questions, then I hate you, then you are evil. And for her to even make that statement that Prince should ask me why I hate her, and she knows, and I sent back my message to her. I said that I don't hate you, but you are stealing the resources of Biafrans. You are not giving account of Biafran. You are not doing the right thing. That's what I said. For you to even ask me that question on that level, knowing that you are a criminal, means how that is a proof of your evil. And when the matter was brought, we concluded, Sonia Barawa, go and discuss. After the women have lost, they poured it. They wanted this thing to be settled. They wanted this matter. They wanted us to resolve this matter because Azuka will come on air. And then we know what is happening with the funds. And the women don't know what is happening. She and Simon and alas, what they call that one again? NDBC, or what's his name? Azubike. And one of them, Chichi, the one handling their own Mazuka's account in Lagos, in Nigeria, where they are putting the Biafra money. In America, the husband's account, in Nigeria's account. Even when they brought, I will still, I will bring more audios and I will elaborate on these things. But today I'm going to be playing the audio of the last time, because this is for the week. This is the audio we're going to use. If it's possible to continue it next week, I'll do that. When they brought the matter, we agreed. When I was supposed to give my speech, I said, okay, we have heard blah, blah, blah. Please, let's go. We are going to have a meeting. And we agreed there. Everybody agreed we're going to hold a meeting privately outside them, and then we're going to revert. As soon as they left, we said, yes, this is a serious matter. We need to bring Azuka in, because we can't take a decision. We can't take decisions like that. And we said, we're going to bring Azuka in. We now said, Sonia Barawa, go and tell Barbara and Maureen and others that this is our decision. We're going to be holding a meeting so day. Then we said, Pastor Livingstone, go and tell Azuka that we are going to be having a meeting with her, that a complaint has been brought against her on financial issues. This is on Autopilot Media Team platform, which we are supposed to be working closely with Simon to see that we do the right thing. Aside the so-called advisory board, where we just have clowns sitting there looking for position. Our people are so carried away by some self-glorification. Oh, I'm in the advisory board. Anything that will get them out there, to get them out of that position, they will never patronize it. Even if it is to tell the biggest lie. Just like one of them called Barbara recently and was telling her, the one they call Ima, Mr. Ima, on that platform, called Barbara and was telling her and said that stop attacking Simon. You see, when you keep attacking Simon, you see, the what you want to get will not come. The monies, people will stop, they will not be contributing the way. What is the money? The money is being contributed. What is the monies? What are they being used for? Not about contributing. That means your target is the money. So don't attack him because of the money. That's what you're saying. Don't attack him because he's not doing the. Now, even and when she told him that, see, is Simon doing the right thing? She said, we know that everybody's not perfect. People cannot be perfect, but we are not talking about being perfect. We are talking about doing the right thing. It's not about perfection. There's a difference. Who is perfect? Even Christ himself was not perfect. Christ himself was not perfect. Christ himself said, only God is good. Be ye perfect, even as your heavenly Father is perfect, which means strive to do the right thing at all times, not because you are going to be perfect in that sense. And Pastor Livingstone, go and tell Azuka we need to have a meeting. Before we knew it, the day we set for the meeting, the next thing I heard was that these women have been they have been suspended. They had a meeting quickly. Azuka suspended them. How? And Simon was in the meeting. He came into the meeting, and they just and the compromise. Of course, there are evidences of the meeting, so it's not. I'm not just telling you stories. We'll keep exposing things to you guys. And they were suspended. Along the line again, when Barbara held on to the truth, they say she's expelled because they know she's the vocal one. We can bring her back. Let's expel her totally. Because this one will not quiet. We know this one is strong. They fought against. Now, why would you, if you are truthful and you know you are serving people, you know the people you are serving are desirous for, they are passionate about their freedom. You know these people are frustrated and are looking up to anybody who will stand in the gap on their behalf. You take up a position and you claim that you want to fight for the people. And whenever you are called for a meeting, all you do is you attack the people who are calling you for a meeting. The same thing Simon did in last week of February is the same thing Azuka did last year, October or so, when this thing happened, October or November. This issue I'm telling you about was last year. She sacked the women. That was the end. Then all the members of the media team, all of them, no one spared, the media team, they were now saying, hey, we could just leave this matter. You see, you know, Simon would at least let him do the work. Later, we're going to know when he finishes after the election, when he stops the election. When there is no election, we'll now ask him for account. When after the election, let's not distract him. Let's not distract him. Let's just allow him to work. For God's sake, if you have, according to Azuka, you have you have a finance department. You have a finance department. How come you are talking about distraction when finance department is supposed to be doing their job daily? Which means that the report they are supposed to give does not need rocket science. They already have the information. And it is not Simon that is collecting it. According to them, if they have a finance department, which we know they don't have, it is only Azuka and the husband and Simon and Erawa. Those are the ones that know, and Azubike and Chichi. Those are the ones who know where the money is going, what they are doing, how they are sharing it. Is it which of them can give you reports? Even Azuka herself, can she draft a report? Can she draft a comprehensive report? She can't now. But let's leave that anyways. That's not the issue. But at least she claimed they have a committee, a finance committee. Why are you now talking about distraction when there is a finance committee? The same thing the media people then said, let's not distract them. Of course, we are getting close to the freedom. We are getting close to the end of we're getting close to February. So let's allow them work and stop the election. So that after stopping the election, after the election is over, we will now ask for account. How many? This is over 200 and something days after the election issue. The election was not stopped. Have they called for accounts? None of them have called for accounts yet. All of them are busy on media, making noise, singing praise of Simon, singing praise of Azuka, jumping here and there and deceiving themselves. But they told me, I heard, that let's not argue this matter again. In fact, at a point, some of them were not even talking to me again. All of them were not talking to me again very well. They were avoiding me. All of them. No one spared, including the pastor. Because they felt, why should I be fighting Azuka? So you are in a nation and somebody is asking for account. Somebody is asking for account, and you say the person is fighting. Somebody is asking for a proof of activity, a proof of loyalty to the people. That is how you ask. Not by what you come to tell me, we have spent this, we have spent that. I gave you an analysis the other time of what happened in my place, in my community, in my local government. My father being the elder there, the young people want a category. They had them, they have the grade meetings and all of that. And that particular grade, there was an issue of finance and all of that. And they were having issues here and there. And of course, my father is an auditor, chartered accountant and auditor. So they came to him. This happened just this year. I think it's happened I think it's in July or June, between July and August this year, 2023. I told you this story, I think about 3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. And now this person who is the head of this age group is a direct what do you call it now? Son to my father's brother, which means, the direct son to my father. I think it's the first son of my father's brother, my father's cousin, anyways, which means they are from the same father, they're the same grandfather. So now he came to my father. This matter must be settled. And my father said, okay, I will settle this matter. I said he now, because being the leader of that stuff, the guy being the leader, gave him paper writing of the monies, what he expended, what they bought, the monies that came in, and all of that. Gave him the paper, everything written. You are giving a professional. You want him to settle an issue, financial issue. You're going to bring papers where they wrote with hand, wrote expenses, how much came in, and all of that. And you gave him the papers, and you gave him those papers. You said these are the records. and you are talking to a professional. That is the same thing happening here in BIAFRA project. You're asking for professional approach to activities of our freedom. Freedom business is a very, very significant and sensitive business that even catches the attention of the globe. It requires professionalism to act, and you are here coming to play pranks with it. Someone is asking for account, you are busy fighting the person, fighting the people. Accountability and transparency group asking for accounts, and you're fighting them. When you see them raise their voice, you want to fight. You want to come and defend the indefensible. The same Simon, of course, who said one time that if you are destroying people's businesses, I think somebody sent it to me today. I think it's Amaka that sent it to me today. Said, you are not fighting for freedom if you are fighting and you are destroying people's businesses. The same person was busy destroying the goods of people. Look at what they did to their bikes last week. Destroying the bikes, the car, the buses for transportation, the business, the means of their livelihood. Destroy them. He's not saying anything about it. Now, when he brought the papers to my father said, you know what, go to the bank, bring the bank report. Let the bank give you a statement of account. That was where trouble started. As soon as my father told him, this is somebody who is so close to my father, he wants to come to him, discuss so many things and all of that. And as soon as he told him to to bring bank statement, that was the beginning of it. He has dissolved the investigative committee. You want to dissolve your elders? He said he is dissolving the. They needed to bring some elders to settle this matter for them, on their behalf. And so, of course, my father is the head of the group settling this matter, knowledgeable and all of that. And of course, he's the eldest in within his brothers and all of that, and of course in that compound. The guy said he has the person who is the leader of those age groups, who is close to my father and who is also, the cousin's son, very close. After he has brought the papers, that time he was waiting for things to be settled. As soon as he was told from the bank, that was when trouble started. He said he has dissolved. He started avoiding. He doesn't come in a week. At least 4 times he will come to see my father. He doesn't come for weeks till now. He has not come to see him. He has that matter. He is just waving it. That is, as soon as we told Simon, come for a meeting, you said you are meeting us, and we have set a date. We have called them for a meeting. Simon, you are the one fronting for the people of Biafra, and you want things to be done well. You want to preserve the legacy of Mazen and Kano, especially ESN, which is very intact, because that's the most important thing at this time, based on the fact that the dragon flag has been lifted. Come for a meeting. The next thing he did was this. He avoided us. And all he did was he went to the media to blackmail. They are criminals. And from that moment, when you call him, he doesn't pick. We send some people to call him, he will not pick. We send another correspondence to him. We are going to be having another meeting. You didn't come to the first meeting. Rather, you went online to blackmail us. But we are not going that route, because it is not, that is childish. We are not going to go that way with you. That is very childish, going out there to call people criminal because they called you for a meeting. We now said, okay, we're going to have another meeting because this is very important. They have given us breakdown and details, and we now sent a letter to him and saying, because of what is, and that was along that line that the revelation of the revelation of Ngozi Rabueze now came up. And that revelation of Ngozi Rabueze was that she is working with the Nigeria contraption. Evidently so. Evidently, with very, very effective evidences, exhibits, and all of that. I forwarded these exhibits and all this stuff to Simon. I even gave some to Gaddafi. Gaddafi started making some research. He was doing that for his own to penetrate them, because as at that time, Simon was not speaking. We call Simon because Simon not saying himself be crook. The two of them are crook. This one wants to outsmart that one. So Gaddafi wants to outsmart Simon. Simon wants to outsmart Gaddafi. So the two of them, the two crooks, were avoiding each other. Simon will not pick his call. and he will try to call someone. He will go to Azuka. Someone picking my call. What's happening? Azuka will deceive him. Oh, I'll talk to him. Whatever. And that's how they were playing games on themselves. So Gaddafi saw an opportunity when we brought him into the matter. He now saw an opportunity where he will use it to access Simon. He wants to play the game. So he now came in and want to now prove that he has evidences of some stuff. So he started forwarding these things to Azuka privately and all of that. Azuka now got very very afraid because all these things will expose all of them. That's when she now called for a meeting with us, me, Prince, Pastor Livingstone, and that then we brought Gaddafi in, and then one other woman, with us at Zion. And so that was how Azuka came in, and she was talking like every time she's talking, she wants to make you feel like she's so busy. What busy doing what now? Busy doing what? She wants to make you feel like they just left one activity now, they just left one meeting now, and they want to make it. Oh my God. These guys are criminals, honestly, bunch of crooks, just like Ego has said. Simon too will be forming busy. All of them. And someone was forming one particular busy one time. And when one matter came up, the issue of Ngozi Raboze, he had enough time. He was so busy. But when that matter came, he had enough time to talk for a long time because he was so busy. He was actually saying he was busy that period. Deceiving Biafrans out there, very busy. So she came in when she was talking like she now said that we shouldn't go out to make broadcasts. Of course, that was when we had mandated Pastor Livingstone to go out and make a broadcast on our behalf on the issue of the letter he came to read out to you people. And then at the same time, after reading that letter, I'd use it to the same stuff he said, the same think tank group that he said he doesn't know. They were the ones who designed, who created the Constitution. The Constitution, we sat down, we deliberated on the Constitution. I was the one who collated all the information and even had ideas. I did the major work in that thing. I was the one. He came out to tell all of you that the Constitution is ready. Who did it? The same people he said he doesn't know. The Code of Conduct, the National Pledge, the same people he said he doesn't know. He came to tell you people he doesn't know them, but he utilizes the instruments, the materials. And so that was how, she spoke and said we shouldn't go out there to make further broadcasts, because then I had already published that I am coming out with my broadcast, because I didn't like the way I wanted to speak very effectively in that regard, because after the first, respect we gave to him to come and have a meeting with us, he didn't come and went out to blackmail. I still calmed down. I said, please, let's just give a benefit of doubt. Several times I said, please beg him, talk to Simon. I was telling you people, beg him, talk to him. We don't need to come to public and start doing all of this stuff. Let's go to the table and discuss. He now went the second time, begin to publish our names, publish the names of the people who were having meeting through Judith or whoever, that stupid lady, who think that she has some powers around her. She was screenshotting and sending to him. And when she said all of that, okay, we said, okay. She said she was going to go. We told her that we want her to go and go and talk with Simon and fix a meeting with Simon so that we can discuss. She said, yes, she was going to go talk to Simon. She was talking like as if she was very, I'm going to go, I'll talk to Simon and I'm going to fix a meeting, please. At least between now and tomorrow, that meeting will be fixed. Oh, we said, okay, that's good. That's nice. So we can discuss. Because so many things we need to discuss with him. Why did he go out there to go and read the letter? 2, the advisory board had already said that they want to put faces of people in the currency. Why would they put faces of people who don't deserve it, like me and them, deserve it on the currency? We don't deserve it. Why would you put the faces of such people in the currency? 3, we want this board to be dissolved, the advisory board, because for you to have even suggested a treasonable action, you are supposed to be dissolved immediately and arrested. If it were an organized system, they will be arrested. For them to plan, that's plan alone. Not because they are suggesting, they are just planning. The plan is on the way to do it. They would have been arrested now, interrogated. So she said the next day she was going to fix the meeting. Between that night and the next day, she was going to fix a meeting with Simon. We're going to have a meeting the next day. Only for me to hear later that she later called them at night. Maybe then I'd gone to sleep, so she called at night, and she was shouting on them, telling them how idiotic they are. Men who she disregarded and disrespected them, talked to them and talking about elders. And they were all, and it really happened anyways. I don't know how they solved that matter. And the next day morning when they told me I was mad, but I know that Gaddafi there would take my voice to her. So I made some statement. I said, I wish I'm in that meeting. She would have known that you don't come to a place and talk to men like that. I wanted Gaddafi to take that message to her because I know he's going to do that. I know he's seeking for his own interests. So he will want to use every opportunity to reach out. And of course, he reached out. And then suddenly she called for another meeting. Then when the meeting came, she now started saying that she has gone to investigate the issue of Ngozi Rabweze. That was when I went nuts. What? Who are you that you are the one to investigate a matter of treason, of espionage? You know what espionage is? Spy. Someone, Ngozi Rabweze, in our midst, giving, information to the enemies. You as an individual, a woman, sit down, say you have done a personal investigation when professionals are on ground. When we're supposed to have a meeting, the agreement is we're going to have a meeting. And of course, what we intend is we're going to set a committee that will look into these issues and discuss and interrogate and investigate Ngozi Rabweze. You as an individual, because you are full of yourself, you said you investigated personally. Who are you to investigate on behalf of a nation? It seems you guys don't know what you're doing. Just like I told you, when my dad told that man, go and be professional now, go and bring bank statement. Don't bring papers to me. Leave the papers, bring the bank statement, let me reconcile the account. He ran away. When you introduce professionalism, they run away. She wanted to narrow that thing down to her level. And she wanted to water down both things. She said she has investigated. She has found out that Ngozi Rabweze is not a Nigeria agent. And that was when I said, what you? I said, bullshit, nonsense. I have the audio. I have the recording. One of these days, I'm going to play it. I have the recording. Nonsense. Suddenly, when we started talking to her, making her understand some stuff, she now started, she's busy. She's, of course, that was when we started laughing because we knew that was where she was going to go. That was how she ran away from the meeting. And before you know it, they started constituting nuisance everywhere. Extorting money from people. She has already said it in this voice message. That's why I'm giving you this story. She said it in that voice message. That's the ESN. Thank you, Go. Yes, I will. That the ESN that they are not funding is not part of them, which means they intentionally try to fund some of them to be part of them and left those they don't want to be part of them because those ones they feel cannot be loyal to them. So they divided ESN. They divided. I'm going to play those audios today again for you to hear. But let me finish with this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's stuff. Let me finish with it. And then, because we'll soon have a meeting anyways in the next 30 minutes or so. So I have to finish this thing very fast. So now let me play this on so that I can, if I don't finish it tomorrow, next week, I'm going to continue on this narrative. Because I'm trying to use it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to talk about investigation. Keeping and, calling office holders to account. How can you be following people and you cannot call them to account? How? How can you? That tells us that you want to get a nation of Eden. A nation where primitive, when you go to, there's one part of India, that place, the man that even went there to go and say he wants to go and preach the gospel. The first time they shot him arrows, because that place they still go naked somehow to an extent. They are not connected to the outside world. They are living in their own world. It's an island. The man said he wants to go and do missionary work there. They shot him arrows. He survived it. The next time again, he wanted to go with Agidi. He went again. They shot him. They killed him the second time. That means that is the kind of nation you're looking for, where primitivity, and you are dealing with criminals who want you to think that way so that they will be able to take advantage of you. Because Simon and Co, they are living in countries where they know that accountability, the reason why the United States account treasury is intact, the reason why the United States president cannot mess up, is because anything he says, he will give account. Look at the issue of the border in Mexico that Biden was fighting Trump about. Now he's talking about building about 200 meters or something, 200,000. I don't know how many meters. I can't remember now. Miles or so. And now people are telling him, even the Mexican leadership is telling him, this is what you said you are not going to do this again, but because you want to please the Republicans, that's why you're doing this. And Americans are saying, but you said you won't do this. Some people are saying, you said you won't do this. Why are you doing it now? Accountability, what you say, you stand on. But Biden is giving the argument. This thing has already been approved for. The funds are already there. So there's no way he can counter it. Accountability. You have to follow a pattern, and it must be accountable. That's how it is done. Please share this broadcast on all the social media platforms, because we are opening the eyes of the people to understand some stuff. Subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel. Subscribe to it. You cannot tell that an individual, you are in an age of technology, of electronic or computers, the age where people go to them. In fact, they are planning to build territories outside space. And you are not requesting have a nation as developed as those nations out there going to, and you are not asking for me to do that from the beginning. You are going to hear it in this message.
They become more assertive. They will push for the truth. The reason why people are suffering is because there is no truth.
Hear that?
People believe in lies. When you're lying so brazenly, Biafra will drive away all these demons. If you're an IPOB and you're used to lying, you're an IPOB, you don't know what you're in. Your days are numbered. I hate liars. I can't stand them. I cannot stand them. Go and search your conscience. Perfect. Everything in life works. You cannot be a liar and a thief and a kidnapper, and you want Biafra to come. You are dreaming. If you're a liar, you're a thief, you're a kidnapper, you are somebody working with.
There's anyone who wants to call, you are free to call.
What's a Fulani as a saboteur and informant? You want Biafra to come. You are making a mock. You are a hypocrite. And Chiku Ukike Abiyama can never ever listen to hypocrites. There is something you need to know. These are the things you need to bear in mind. These are the things you need to be conscious of. If you are of bad conduct, go and change. For you to remain in IPOB, we want people that when parents see them, when they see the way you behave, parents will send their children Come on, that is what we want to do. That's exactly what we want to do. Not to raise a group of people who are ill-behaved, people that have no respect for their elders, people who have no respect for their mothers and their fathers, people who have no respect for their seniors, people who have no regard for the betterment of the environment and society they're going up in. We need model citizens. I am not waiting until we get into Biafra.
Listen.
Expecting to behave now like Biafrans. And our behavior is not like that of the baboons or monkeys in the zoo.
We are not waiting to get in before we set the structure. That's what he's saying. We don't behave like monkeys and baboons. Because when you don't have a structure, when you are not accountable, when you don't set a standard, you are already less than an animal. Because it is only the animal kingdom where there is no rule, even if there are rules. Because the monkey knows his boundary. The tiger knows their boundary. So if you are operating that way, all you know is you just know your boundary without understanding how to utilize your boundary or narrate or explain your boundary in context of your own living, your own existence, and the general environment you live in. Then you are like an animal in this regard. He said, you set the standard. You set it before you get into Biafra. You don't wait for Biafra to come to try to set it. That is what the people of South Sudan tried to do. They wanted to set the standard after they got into their freedom. But they already allowed criminals to take over mandate, and the criminals have hijacked the government. Once you allow criminals to take over the mandate, they hijack the government, and that is final. And that is critical because they are going to do and put you in a place, in a situation that you will struggle, and before you can get them out, you will lose so many lives. Before you can recover, you would fight. Because when criminals take over, they hold it dearly. They don't want to leave. If somebody gets possessed by demons, the demons hold the person dearly. You don't free somebody from the grip of demons easily. The demons will fight you. Haven't you seen somebody possessed? You heard of that story in the Bible, a man in the graveyard who was possessed with demons. They put chains on him. He breaks the chains. He is strong. The demons are very resilient. They want to maintain their territory. That is how evil people behave. They always want to retain their territory, and you would have to fight your way through, even with your last blood, to make sure you sustain yourself or get out of their grip. So, but don't give them the opportunity to grip you that way so that you don't struggle. That is what we're talking about. Don't give evil opportunity to hijack your freedom. Don't give evil people opportunity to take over the realms of affairs of your freedom, because if freedom is as important as life to us, when they hijack it, as soon as they are able to get it from those people holding it, and they now get it, what they will do is they will hijack it and they will control it and they will safeguard it based on their dictates, their policies, and their own constitutional operation. And to get it from their hands, you are going to sweat. You would lose blood. You will lose blood. You don't you don't build the foundation after you build the house. You set the foundation before you get the house. You set the foundation. And once the foundation is weak, whatever structure you put on it that is not as equal to the task of the foundation will crumble. That's the truth. So when we are talking about accountability and transparency, we are talking about a system where everything in our foundation will be aright, will be set aright. Nobody will be coming to look for what they will seek to do for themselves, but what they will do for the nation. As much as you are doing it for the nation, you are doing it for yourself. Everybody is thinking about everybody to think of themselves, because you succeed when everybody is succeeding. That is the kind of Biafra we're looking for. Foundationally right, structured appropriately for effectiveness, and looking forward to a great time when our other generations will come in and say, our fathers did the good job. our fathers positioned our nation aright, we don't have to fight battles again to build our nation. So rather than spending another 20 years fighting to recover the constitutional right of the people because criminals have hijacked it when you get your freedom, you use that 20 years to build and advance the cause. By then you'll be meeting up with the standard of the international, even exceeding them because you are smart, the international organizations. So then you, of course, you'll be talking about launching to the moon and all of that. You'll be growing rather than fighting wars. We don't want to get a Biafra where we will start fighting wars. We are struggling now. We want to restore rule of law because the people who have gotten the freedom for you have taken over and they have set the rules and the constitution in a way that it is against the human sensitivities and all of that, the human normal way of operation. So we want to set the structure. Mazin Amikanu said it. We set the structure.
We are different. And we need to show it. Truth is key. If you pick something on the road that doesn't belong to you, you give it to who it belongs to. Do you want Biafra? I ask you. Do you believe in this gospel we are preaching?
There's a statement he made here. If you pick something on the road that doesn't belong to you, you give it to the person who belongs to, which means that you know who owns it and you got it, and the person is not aware that they have lost that stuff. You give it to them. That means you must put things right, even if the person you are doing it for is ignorant of it. You must help them see the way. You must help them see that they have lost something. You must help them see what they are not doing right. This is the implication of this statement. You must be a guiding light. You must help other people see what they are losing. You must help other people see what they are losing. When they ignorantly lose something, you are there to help them see it, all right? So if we want to set a structure that will govern us appropriately, we must seek to sustain the pride of other people by helping them observe and know their ignorance so that we can do things right. You can't get a nation of stupidity, of animals everywhere. I can't imagine that we are so careless about freedom. We don't even know the implication of freedom to our destinies. Because it is because you think freedom is something different from you. So that is why you can be in America or be in Finland or be anywhere and do anything against it, because you think that you are different from freedom. So as long as you get food to eat and you can steal money from it, it has nothing to do with you. That's what you're thinking. That's what you're thinking. But fundamentally, freedom is connected to your destinies. So which means that if you are, as much as you revere your destiny, that means as much as you take your destiny very important and you are concerned about your future, you are concerned about your children, you are concerned about what you are expecting to get in future, you should also understand that that thing you are expecting to gain is as the same as your freedom. Because in freedom, you have the opportunity to maximally approach your destiny. That's the truth. Let me play on.
I am telling you exactly what Chukwokika Biama said must be preached. If you want me to bring down my kingdom from heaven to this earth, the conditions has to be right.
Did you hear that?
That is why I did not give you Biafra between 67 and 70.
That is what God is saying. If you want me to bring my kingdom on earth from heaven, the nation of Biafra, figuratively now, being the kingdom of God here on earth from heaven, because we are talking about establishing truth. If you want me to do that, then you must do things aright. How do you do things aright? You check and make sure that those things are done aright, because you are dealing with human beings. How many of you understand that? So if I'm dealing with human beings, the least I can demand for is account. If you send me on an errand, you should be able to ask me, how much did you get this? How much is the balance? How much is left? That is how reasonable people do. You don't say someone hates you because they asked you for the balance or for the account of what you are told to do. If you say that, that means you are evil. You are a criminal because you are bringing in sentiments to drive away focus on the right thing to do. As the American says, the right thing to do is to do the right thing. The kingdom will come. So that if you are expecting the kingdom to come and you're not doing the right thing, you better come. Let's sit down and reason together, because all this movement delaying the whole thing. I'm hammering it. We must come to see the number on screen. Send message. I want us to work. I want to work with you and other people. Let's work together and see how we can form synergy to free ourselves. Or else you'll keep dancing around in circles and moving around in circles, end up being dying, and other generations will come. And that's it. Martin American said they couldn't get it in the 1970s or 1967 period and 70s because they were not doing things. The kingdom could not come. The kingdom didn't come then because things were not done right. You didn't recognize me. You were recognizing lies. You were patronizing idol worship. You were not worshiping him in truth and in spirit. You were using ROC. So things were not done aright. They couldn't get the kingdom. Now check the number of years. 50-something years ago, about 55 years ago, 50, 51, 52 years, 53, 54, 55 years ago, we are still talking about some people have expected Biafra to come and they have died. They have not seen it. Some grandparents and parents and all of that died. They have not seen it. And we also in this generation, we are anticipating, and we don't want to do things right so that we see it. You will be surprised. You will get old and die, because God will keep seeking for a generation who is true to do the right thing, so that he can restore the kingdom. God gives promises, but he requires you to do the right thing. It's always a conditional thing. So as Biafrans, we must do the right thing for God to now take the right action towards us. Because whatever action God takes anyways is the right action. If we do the wrong thing, the right action comes on us. So we must set the pace, accept to do the right thing, execute the right thing. Then God himself will activate the kingdom and give it to us. Let's listen.
Because you were sinful.
Because you were worshiping idols. Instead of Chukwokike. Some of us are too wicked. We are deadly in our hearts. You can imagine somebody talking to you now, telling you that, and swearing. They will swear, and they will tell you they are swearing by Chukwokike. That's what Mazin Amkan said. Worshipping idols, not Chukwokike, because you can't call your idol Chukwokike. So look at what they are doing now in their all of them having juju, people doing juju for them. Is it not what they accused Nelly of, that she was doing juju? Nelly was doing juju. They were saying that she was doing juju. They said she was naked doing juju. She was showing and all of that. How if these people were through, if she was doing not through now, if these people were true to themselves and maybe she was doing the right thing, will anybody bring her nude out? How come? But I don't know the circumstances how that nude came out. But if it has to do with ROC or worshiping idols, then you see how sometimes we put ourselves in trouble because we are seeking, we're so desperate. Please share this broadcast on all your social media platforms because people must hear this truth. So what happened? Because criminality, evil was in this thing. See how she was disgraced. Now, the same person again, Azuka is patronizing, someone is patronizing, and they're patronizing other people. All of them carrying out, you will come and say, we have brought strength, we have brought all this stuff. Because they are consulting demons. At a point, they said, even if they have to patronize demons to give you freedom. Which came, where did you bring it from? Where? ROC. And some of you know this truth, but all you want, you just want action. I want action. Hey, water. Stupidity. That's all. You want water. The same way also in South Sudan. We all we want is water. Just let's be free from Northern Sudan. Let's just be free. We don't care who gives us the freedom, as long as the person is fighting to get us free. So you think they are fighting to get you free for you to be free indeed? They are fighting to get you free so that they can control you. Is it not gang members now controlling them in all these places? Look at what happened as soon as Gaddafi was removed. Gaddafi was removed from Libya. Look at what is happening now. Gangs controlling different territories. You think they like their people? No, they just want to be in control of the resources. That's what they are looking for. Why wouldn't you be wise? I'll make sure I don't spend more than 10 minutes or so because we have a meeting. Let me play this.
You were idol worshippers. Anything I tell you is correct. Men are worshipping idol out of ignorance. Men are worshipping idol, white man's idol, out of ignorance. That is the only thing saving you. Can you know here this morning? The only thing saving you from the wrath of Biafra is that you are doing so in ignorance. That is the only thing saving you. Oh my goodness. No wonder we are suffering. No wonder. ROC. Greek ROC called Jesus. That is why they say man can marry man, woman can marry woman. And I think in the end, Islam is in of them. They are the only two countries of humanity, Israel and Biafra. I'm telling you the truth. You will not worship any idol. When you call Radio Biafra, please mention the correct name of the Messiah. He is Yahweh. You can call him Yeshua for short. I am telling you now. I am telling you because we have come to preach the truth. It doesn't matter. May like Yahweh, may like Yahweh, it's relevant. His name is Yahweh Yeshua. That's his name. You know, Papa, Greek God, Makade Mama. Oh, Paris in degrees could not buy. Oh, Paris in degrees could not buy. His name is Yahweh Yeshua. This is the name of the son of Chukwu. You know, every son of Paris. Go and read. Go and do your research. J as an English word came into existence only 480 years ago. What was his name before English word had J in it?
Some of you don't know this fact. Because of time, I don't want to say anything. It was a fact. People have said factual truth.
Chukwuabiama said I should tell you. His name is Yahweh or Yeshua for short. I am telling you the truth.
All right, so let me start it now and play this stuff. You know, I want to go to, you know, I'm going to be rounding off soon in the next 6 minutes, and so I may not have time to continue that particular play, and then. But I just want to point out something here. I want you guys to listen to this again, this particular stuff we played last time, and then get some facts. Some of you just heard it once, and then you might have forgotten, and all of that. And so I'm going to fix it up now. I'm going to play the audio so that you can hear. I was analyzing it at the time, you know, and then we finished it, but I want to also point out some stuff. Let me just open your eyes to some basic things along the line of those conversations, because it is very, very important that I keep you, you know, in that particular order of knowledge.
Made us a promise that every month we'll be giving out what we are getting. It is not that it will be made public in the year of the zoo. It is not that it will be made public in the year of the zoo. But at least we'll know, because no matter how much you have, it can not stop Biafra from coming. And no matter how much Nigeria has raised, it can never stop Biafra from coming. It is the last miracle that will happen on earth. And I believe that so much. I have no doubt in every prophecy that have proceeded out of the mouth of Mazen and the Kalu. I have risked my life, and I'm still risking my life. And where I come from, everybody is into politics, but I've chosen to throw this path. And anything that will stop, or anybody that will cause this movement from not being achieved, that person will not be my friend. So what I am asking here is, why are you not giving us account of what we have gotten and what we have not gotten? Why?
Now listen. Now listen.
Is there any question that have caused you from doing that?
She has to repeat the question.
Because I had other questions. Go ahead, ma'am.
Why are we not giving you account of what you have and what you have not? Now, when you get to website, I think please can you answer this question?
I've avoided it.
Based on what you guys are doing to put all these things online.
Now, because she wanted to tell a lie, and she knew that if she says that, like, people will go to the website and check it out. So now remember that if she tells these lies between fly, she had to quickly call herself to order and call Azubike to take over. She said, why are we not doing this? I think when you go to the website and Azuke, can you tell us, you people are the ones doing things together to put things together. She wanted to say when you go to the website, you find that stuff there, you can get the details. She remembered that people can still access the website. The website is not a hidden stuff, so it can be accessed. And then when she saw the lie won't fly, but in the end, she tells you that everything will be on the website. And up to today, that website does not have any bit of information about this stuff. Listen.
And then, are you there?
Yes, and
listen.
And I did have to briefly step away to address. And can somebody repeat the question?
Now, do you see that? The co-thief words, put those words together. And then he says, please, can you repeat the question? The same question that the guy asked, make his boss the question and asked him to intervene. And yet he wants to hear the question again. That tells you everything you need to know. Now let's go on.
I brought we are Biafrans. So if you want to speak phonetic, let me, I will go ahead and say phonetic, please. We are Biafrans, let's speak well. My question is this way. I said,
now you see it. When you want to know people who are not straightforward and all of that, they always want to take offense on every statement because they are insecure. They know that they're against them. They know that everything that is happening around and they matter at that point will always indict them. So they need to activate offense out of every statement to make it look like to create a kind of tension within the whole system and to use it as a means of watering down the whole process. Now you see something here. Now the guy says, hey, you are just mumbling some words, jumbling some words and trying to speak for them. Please, we are Biafrans. If you want to speak for them, me too, I can speak for them, but just tell us, why are we not receiving account? And before he would finish over, the woman jumps in. She wants to now talk about respecting each other. How does this represent disrespect? She came to a meeting and was insulting elders in February when we had a meeting for her to go and have with Simon and fix a date with Simon for us to have a meeting. She came there and was insulting elders. But here she is now. Somebody saying that, please don't speak for them. Just speak the what you can hear. This is what we're looking for. And then she's now taking offense in it. Because you know why? The whole scenario is against her. The whole matter here, she doesn't have an answer. They don't have answers to the question. All they need to do is to create a kind of tension as if something is going wrong from the activities rather than a fact. Looking at the facts on ground. I'm going to stop here for now because I'm going to continue from this point because I want to give better analysis of this particular voice message. Hopefully, if I don't do it tomorrow, I'm going to come here on Tuesday. But I pray that I have the time tomorrow. If I'm going to do that tomorrow, then it's going to be about 5 p.m. Biafra time or 6 p.m. Biafra time. I'm going to be here. Hopefully, I will. I'll try to be here 6 p.m. Biafra time, and I'm going to give some factual and bring out some points out of all these things, and then so that you can begin to reason for those whose thinking faculty has been bastardized by the activities of manipulation, juju, and all of that, and of course for the fact that they can't reason well based on the effect of slavery on their minds. Thank you so much, all. We have a meeting. And I want to appreciate you guys. So I don't want to go late for the meeting. I would have stayed to finish this thing up. But now I have to move here because we have a meeting. Thank you so much, all. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. My comrades, for doing posting and editing the people here. I appreciate you guys. And people could not call. If you want to call, maybe tomorrow again, I'll put a number if you want to call. That defend the indefensible, so they can't call. So, but anyways, the number will be here, and so those who want to call will call, and then we'll. You have the to lay your points in your criminal. Come up and let's talk. Then we'll know. We'll now discuss very well. We'll know who is going to, how this matter will end. Thank you so much, all. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Leave now. My comrades, I thank you. Please subscribe to this channel and share on all social media platforms. And please get to like this video and share after, so that people can watch it all over. Encourage to take control of the whole thing. Thank you to you guys. God bless you. Really good.